Welcome to Becoming Me While Raising You, sponsored by attorney Kelly Walling of Caperton Walling Law. This is the show where we learn about how to juggle our business life with peaceful parenting from moms that are doing just that. I'm your host, Kim Minch, a certified parent coach, the founder of Real Life Parent Guide, and the author of the book, Becoming Me While Raising You, A Mother's Journey to Herself. Every day, I help moms who are striving to optimize their intuition and gain confidence in their parenting. As a mother of 5, I've learned parenting is the greatest opportunity to grow ourselves up. On today's episode, I'd like to introduce you to Angela Kreig, who has spent the last 18 years pursuing opportunities in business development, sales and marketing, public relations, and social media across various industries. She's also the mom of 2 teen daughters, Sydney and Sloan, and their 3 dogs. Angela's current role is Regional Director of Business Development for Dangley Insurance and owner and founder of Nosy Dog Social Media, named after their basset hound, Charlie. Angela, welcome to Becoming Me While Raising You.
Thank you so much for having me today, Kim. I'm so excited to be here and be on the other side of the camera.
I know, you do shows too. You interview other people all the time, so it's nice to have you on this end of it.
It's different for sure.
Oh my gosh, Angela, you have such a wide variety of experience. I'd love for you to share with us your professional journey.
Well, I feel like the journey is still ongoing. I don't know if my journey to find complete happiness in what I do for a living will ever stop. And that's a positive, but it can also be a negative.
So tell us how you began.
So I went to school. I graduated with my degree in journalism, and I moved to Texas because my now ex-husband, was from here, and I decided that I'll move to Texas and we can buy a home instead of living in a little apartment in Los Angeles. And that's where I graduated from college. And so got to Texas, and I just did not know what I wanted to do. I was submitting my resume everywhere, trying to get jobs working at news stations, magazines, and, that's really hard when you don't have a network of people and you're just blindly submitting your resume out there. I would say that's a really big challenge, and it can really knock you down. Fortunately, I had an opportunity to get into the title insurance business, which at the time I had no idea what the title insurance business even was. I had never purchased a home. My parents lived in the same home for 25 years, so I wasn't very familiar with, the real estate industry. And I had an opportunity to go ahead and get involved in that, and saw what the sales and marketing representative was doing, and I thought I could do this. This is just being personable with people, connecting with people, providing value, and ultimately helping them in their business. And so that's what I started doing. All of a sudden I was in the title business, and I was in the title business for 15 years. So after a few years, I would say about 8 to 10 years of being in the title business, I was ready for a change, and I didn't know what else I was going to do. I had this degree in journalism, but I didn't have any really working experience doing it. So I went ahead and decided that I was going to start a little side hustle business doing social media. And a passion of mine is restaurants. And another passion of mine is just promoting things that are awesome, because I want everybody to know about awesome things so they can experience them as well. And so it's not necessarily about the likes. I don't care about that. I just want somebody to see what I'm posting, and say, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I need to go get that. Or I need to tell my mom because my mom loves something like that. Or, to me, that's what it's about, building the community. So my side business, Nosy Dog Media, started that in 2018, and I've had, I currently work with a handful of clients, mostly restaurants, and it has really been a bright light in my career for me. It's something that I feel passionate about, and I just feel blessed to be able to do that every day.
Well, and as someone who also writes and likes to be on camera, but doesn't know how to market that well, what you do is really valuable to those of us who have businesses and, or in my case, a book that I want to birth and get out into the world. So I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
Tell me, what really lights you up about the work that you do?
So my full-time career is a regional director of business development for a national insurance company. And what I love about that is connecting with people all across the country. I get to meet so many people, mostly real estate professionals and mortgage professionals that are working on building their business and that are trying to, make a difference in their clients' lives. And so for us, for our insurance company to be an extension of what they're doing, that makes a difference. We want to help them shine. We want to help them look good. And so being able to be an extension of their business and doing that across the nation is pretty powerful.
I see that just lights you up in your eyes, and it just seems to me like you're such a connector. You're just someone who really loves to connect other people, but also hear their stories. So I think that's awesome.
That's what brings me energy.
So conversely, let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you have in business and how you navigate them.
So that actually is a great lead-in. So while connecting with people and being around them and gives me energy and makes me the happiest that I could be, I also have depression and anxiety. So when there are times when I don't want to leave my house and I don't want to get out of bed, I know that the second that I have an interaction with somebody, it's going to make a difference. It's going to completely get me out of that funk that we like to say that we're in. And sometimes I don't do it. Sometimes I choose not to. Sometimes I choose to not get out of bed. And that is a challenge. And it's a big challenge for a single mom raising two girls that you want them to see that you're strong. But they have absolutely seen me vulnerable and know the struggles that I've been through. And I try to be as very open, maybe too open with them. But that's what I believe. That's how I parent.
So I just want to kind of go off course for a minute. We are going to talk about your daughters in just a second. But regarding depression and some of the challenges that you've had, my question for you is, what advice would you give to another single mom or mom who is challenged with that same thing? What helps you?
Well, this is what people say to do. Exercise, eat well. I'd love to exercise and I'd love to eat well, but when I'm in those stages of feeling depressed, I don't want to do anything like that. I don't even put my TV on. I just want to be, and just try to mentally work through it myself. It doesn't always work, but I would say to, one, not be ashamed of it because there's so much stigma with mental health. And you don't need to tell everybody on the show that people are going to watch that you have depression, but if you can share your story with people, because there's other people going through it, and you never know, it may help them. Because for the most part, I think people think of me as someone that's smiley, and because I am when I'm out with people, I really truly am. I'm happy, I'm smiling. But sometimes when I'm home and I'm alone, my daughters aren't home, and I'm by myself, I'm not very happy, and that's just my depression that kicks in. So, definitely I believe in talking to your physician. If you are open to being on medicine, I encourage you to do that. Do as many holistic things as you can as well. And just know that, you've got to do what works for you. And so I'm not going to beat myself up because I don't work out every day. I have started working out recently. Very proud of myself for that. And, but I'm not, and I'm really great at beating myself up. That's something that I'm an expert on. And
I totally appreciate your transparency and your ability to want to share that side of yourself with other people that may struggle as well. I mean, as someone who wrote a book who literally shared every secret moment of her life, I think that there's not enough truth in the world. And when we have the courage to share our truth with others, it inspires them to do the same. So I want to thank you for that.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about those two girls and the three dogs if you want to, but those two teen girls.
Yes.
Tell us their ages. Tell us, what it's like to be a mom to them, a single mom.
So my whole life I've wanted to be a mom. I meant to be a mom. I have an amazing mother. I have an amazing grandmother who passed earlier this year. And I come from an Italian family, and mothering and nurturing, it's just in my blood. I've always wanted to do it. So I am happiest when my kids have their friends around and I can drive them all over the place. I'll gladly taxi them all over anytime. Make sure that they're fed, just have music on, do whatever I can do. Their friends feel very comfortable talking to me about things, which I makes me very feel very special that they can confide in me and things. And Sydney is about to be 16, so I'm about to have a 16-year-old, and Sloan will be 13. So they're full-on teenagers, and girls. I don't have any boys. I wanted a boy. I would have loved to have had a boy. I'm sometimes now I'm glad I don't, because I don't think I can handle the destruction and the accidents that happen, the jumping off things and being crazy. And I'm kind of a worrywart. Thanks, Mom, for that. And my grandma, so I don't think I could probably have a boy. So I have my girls for a reason, and I'm glad I do, because they're
I have 4 boys,
amazing.
I have 4 boys, you. but they're amazing. And so
of course, they're all amazing. They're all amazing. I just sometimes wonder, oh my gosh, I would be a nervous wreck. But I'm a nervous wreck with girls. My daughter just got in the car with a friend who has her license the other night, and I was a nervous wreck the entire time she was gone. She was gone for about 30 minutes, and I just kept checking her location on Snapchat.
It is a big deal. It is a big deal when you're, and then I remember the first time my oldest got his license, and I don't know what the reason was, but I have 5 kids in a wide age range, and there was some reason why he took the 3 boys. I don't know if they went to ice cream or whatever, but the 3 younger boys with him, and I was like, oh my God, I just let my child drive a bunch of my kids down the street. It is very heart-stopping.
It is.
So what would you say is your best parenting advice as someone who is raising 2 teen daughters?
You need to let your kids be who they are. You need to let your kids be your kids. A long time ago, I gave my mom a card for Mother's Day, and it was a really cute picture of this girl kind of dressed up a little funky, and it just said, "Mom, thanks for letting me be me." And I think that that's what you got to do. You can't push your children to do things. You can encourage them. You need to support them. But I don't believe in directing my children's lives. I believe in leading through example. Some of my examples aren't the greatest. Okay? They'll see that. Be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I didn't like that my mom did that, whatever that may be. I don't like that my mom's always on her phone. That's a challenge. Well, they're always on their phone. That's what I tell them too. So obviously handling a social media business, I do have to be on my phone a lot, but most of the time it's actually for just a few seconds. A lot, but just a few seconds, where they'll be on their phone for hours, and they say, how's your screen time? Only 3 hours and mine's 8. Because you're watching shows on yours and I'm working. And I just get on there, do something, and then I move on to the next thing. So
allowing your kids to be who they're meant to be and pursue their interests and
make their choices.
Yeah.
I do not have bedtimes for my kids. When they were younger, I did. Now it's up to them. I do say, hey, you should get some sleep. I advise them, but I'm not hard, put your phone away. It's time to go to bed right now. I just don't, that's not how I parent. I was not raised that way. I've never grounded my children. I was never grounded. I had an open relationship with my parents where they knew where I would be, who I would be with, and I overall was a pretty good kid. My girls get tired of me saying that, but really I was. I mean, I made some mistakes, but who doesn't? That's growing up as a kid.
That is part of growing up.
And you need to make those mistakes.
That's right.
And I do know my children will make those mistakes, and I just hope that by being open and honest, and that they'll be able to, navigate those just by being good human beings. So
I totally agree with you. I love it. And I am the same way in terms of my daughter. There's no hard and fast rule on bedtime. She's the only one. At this point, we're taking a kid to college this week, so she'll be the only one home. And I think she's actually a little uptight about being the only child home after, having brothers, and now it's like the focus she thinks is going to be on her, and not necessarily. Of course, she'll be the only child in the house, but that doesn't mean that mom and dad have a whole lot of time to focus on anything. And right. I agree with you, just kind of allowing our kids to make some, mistakes, that maybe stay up too late and not get some sleep, and unfortunately maybe get sick or miss an assignment or whatever. These are the things that help us build resilience and character, and if we don't ever let them make mistakes, how are they ever going to know? So I think that is a great piece of parenting advice.
Thanks.
Last question for you is, can you share some advice on, and I hate the word balance, it's not the word I want to use, but being present to your kids while you're building your business. Can you talk a little bit about that and what's helped you to find some harmony in that?
Yeah, definitely. So work-life balance is very important, and I think that it really changes day to day. So if my daughters have an event or, something that they need me for, there's no question that I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure that I'm there for that. So knowing your priorities, and those girls are my priorities no matter what. I will tell you some fun things. I'll have them help me with things sometimes. If we're in the car driving, which, we're always going somewhere, my mom always says, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? Like, yes, but we got to do stuff. I want to live. I want to try to live to the fullest and have my girls have as many experiences as they can. And so it's go, go, go. If they want to do something, I rarely say no. I mean, unless I am just, have a sinus headache or something, which I get those sometimes and they put me out. But, I do whatever I need to do for those girls, and I absolutely love it. So, making sure that they know that they're my priority. And when we're driving and if I have work to do, then I'll say, hey, can you type this up for me and post this for me? I'll just give them my phone and they'll do that, and they'll be like, of course they know how to, but I'm like, is this spelled right? Did I put a period here? Is this the right emoji? So I have them help me if I need to with that kind of stuff. And also just explain to them, hey, yes, I am working, and, we go places. And I mean, the other day we were at dinner and we got to sit down, and my daughter said, Mom, why do you know so many people? You just saw like 10 people, and I'm like, yeah, I know. That's the community we live in. It's awesome. I love that. Except when I have no makeup on and I'm somewhere, and then I'm like, So, so work-life balance, just to end on that, it definitely, changes daily. And I think it's based on, what you are achieving, and then also what you are enjoying. So, and you can do both. You can achieve and enjoy at the same time, and so it just kind of, and I did not come up with that. I read that, by the way. I don't know who the guy is that did it, but I believed it.
But it's good advice.
Achievement and enjoyment. Those are the two things that symbolize work-life balance, if you think about it,
Angela, it's been a joy to have you on the show. If someone wants to learn more about Nosy Dog social media, can you tell us where to find you?
Yes, definitely. So you can go to Try This DFW. That's my Instagram handle. And my website's not live. That's why people have web designers. I'm not a web designer. So they can find me on social media, obviously on Facebook and on Instagram at Try This DFW.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Becoming Me While Raising You. On behalf of Angela and myself, remember, mothers are the emotional barometers in their families. So taking care of you while you build your legacy is not a luxury, it's a necessity. My passion is to help moms create peaceful homes through happier, healthier relationships with their kids by working on themselves. If you're looking for help on your parenting journey, please reach out to me through my website, reallifeparentguide.com. Until next time, namaste.